Hey everybody, Dr. Tammy here. Happy Friday to you. I wanted to do a little video on learning something new, and I think this is a great gift that I can give to you because it was a great gift that was given to me. And I want to tell you 4 reasons why it might help you to learn something new. And one of the reasons is because we are born to create. When we're not creating, we're dying. And if you're not growing, you're dying, basically. So if you're not learning new things, if you're not using those neurons to fire and create new things, then you're just shriveling up. And the rigidity of death and old age is pretty much just stop learning new things. So it's really important that you keep learning new things. So I'm going to make it really easy and break down and demystify why it's so hard for us to learn new things and how you can actually learn something new. So is there something that you would love to be able to do? Is there something you've always said, like I've always wanted to play the piano or the guitar, or I've always wanted to know some internet marketing skills, or I wanted to learn how to create or write music or do something like that. So I'm going to help you in a really simple little video here how to do that. Depression. If you are depressed or you have any tendencies to depression is complacency and boredom. And when you get bored because you're not learning new things and you're not trying new things and you're not creating, you start to think too much and your brain gets really active. So one of the things that I do when my brain is getting all obsessed and obsessive thinking is to either go learn something new or to work on something new that I've been learning, so that it's a distraction too. So I love creating new things. And what happens is those neurons that get formed when you learn new things, they like to get connected. And it's difficult in the beginning when you're learning new things, which is why people don't want to learn new things, because it's hard. So I'm going to help you with that. But once you form those, then they're always there. It's kind of like once you learn to ride a bike, you always know how. So it gets really easy after a while. So that what we call the learning curve is steep in the beginning, but then once you get it, those neurons are connected. And then you can do that thing whenever you want to do that thing. And the last reason to learn something new is because it's fun. It's just fun. So if there's something that you want to learn to do, now it has to be fun, or you wouldn't have fun learning to do it, right? So that's really important, that it's also fun. So why are people so afraid of learning something new? Well, I want to share with you a book. It's actually my husband's book. It's called Outliers, and it's by Malcolm Gladwell. And one of the things that he said in this book is that to be an expert at anything, it takes about 10,000 hours. Oh my gosh, 10,000 hours, who's got that? I'm busy, I'm a mom, I'm a doctor, I do these videos for you guys, I educate, I'm a speaker, I'm an author, I write books. Like, who has time to learn something new? 10,000 hours. Well, what that was saying was to be an expert at something. So if you wanted to be an expert violinist, yes, it would take about 10,000 hours before you were a concert violinist. And that's a lot of time. That's like 10 years of working 8 hours every day. So it takes a long time to be an expert. But what if you just want to be good at something? What if you just want to play some music? So my example is I've always wanted to learn to play the guitar, and I always thought it'd be too hard. And I made all these excuses. I love the saying, if you want something, you'll find a way. If you don't, you'll find an excuse. But I just always thought that you have to have some inherent talent. You have to, be too hard and take too long. I'm busy learning all this other stuff for medical school and all those other things, and I just don't have time. So we make all these excuses. So if there's something you want to learn, I want to encourage you to do that and step into it. So basically what they decided after a ton of research was that it doesn't take 10,000 hours to be good at something, maybe to be like expert concert pianist, but to just be good at something, it only takes, are you ready? Guess how many hours? 20 hours. You've got 20 hours, right? Not like in one day. You don't want to spend like a whole day learning something. Because one thing that is really important is that you break that up over time. Because if you spent 20 hours, you'd probably not like make those connections real solid, like cramming for a test. You would forget all that information. So you want to do it in little increments. So what this equates to is about 30 minutes to an hour practicing something every day for about a month. And this really works, and I'm going to show you what I did. So how do you do something in 20 hours? Because in the beginning, something that's really intimidating, like playing the guitar, is really hard, and you're like, I gotta go sign up for lessons, and I got blah blah blah, you know. And so how do you break that down? So I'm going to teach you how to do something in 20 hours, and I did it. I learned to play the guitar in 20 hours. So I'm going to tell you how I did it, and that will help you to learn anything that you want to do, any new skill. So I committed was the first thing, and I went out and I didn't buy a guitar because a guitar has 6 strings, and this is big, and this is intimidating, and I thought, oh my gosh, I found every excuse in the world why I probably couldn't do this. But I started looking around, and I found a ukulele. A ukulele only has 4 strings, and it's much smaller, much easier to handle. The strings are much softer, more palatable, much easier. So I'm like, okay, so what did I do? Well, I demystified. I took something that seemed really hard and daunting, and I took the 10,000 hours out, and I said, I got 20 hours. This is really true. I can do this in 20 hours. And so I demystified it. And the way I demystified it was, first of all, I said, who's done it? And I need the right teacher, because one of the things that I found in school was that if I didn't have the right teacher, like I thought I was bad at math when I was a kid, I finally got a really good math teacher. Well, what was so good about her was our learning styles were very similar, and she could demystify it. She could break it down for me. And when she did that, oh my gosh, it opened up my world to math. And I actually went to, I can't even remember, the highest, I went like past trigonometry, I went like really high math. And so math was not hard for me after I demystified it. So you have to demystify something that you want to learn. It has to be the right teacher. So there's lots of different places you can find the right teacher. I actually learned on YouTube. There's tons of stuff on YouTube and on Facebook. And I mean, there's so much on the internet. So I didn't want to take the time to find a teacher and see if we were a right match. I just looked for different teachers on the internet that I could find. This is the same thing. If you want to lose weight, or you want to get ripped, or you want to get toned, my friend Michelle Berger, Buff Mother, she works online with people, and you can watch her videos, and you can do all that. So you just need to find somebody that you're aligned with. Don't recreate the wheel, and who's done it, and find the right teacher. So that's really important. And the next thing is you want to deconstruct it. So what did I do when I deconstructed the ukulele? Well, the first thing I did was I said, how can I make this the easiest I can? So I found somebody online who said that if I learned 4 chords, I could play just about any pop song. And I'm like, I could do that. That would be really easy. 4 strings, 4 chords, I could do that. So the first thing I did was I got my ukulele and I went online and I got this little tuner here. My husband bought this for me. It's really nice because he knew I wanted to do this, so he went and bought this for me. And I got the little tuner and I learned how to tune it online. It took me 15 minutes probably. It was really quick, and then I did the little strings and, I was able to tune it, and that was great. So, number 1, I tuned it. Number 2, I learned what those 4 chords were. And oh my gosh, in the beginning, I will tell you that the thing that will shut you down is the learning curve. The learning curve. This is what shuts everybody down. So in the beginning, it's pretty steep. Let's see, which way does this go? In the beginning, it's pretty steep. And then once you get here, it's about 1 to 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours. At about 4 hours, the learning curve starts to come over here. And then at 20 hours, you're there, which is really cool. So it just takes a little bit of time. So I committed that I was going to do 30 minutes a day, and that's what I did. So I learned my 4 chords, and then I practiced. So one of the next things that you want to do in your deconstruction, it's so cute. My dad was an inventor, and the story goes that when he was little, he would just tear apart radios, and he would tear apart all sorts of different electronics and engines, and he would just deconstruct it, and everybody gets so frustrated because all these pieces would be all over the place. But he took something that was really scary and daunting, and he just looked at the pieces and then how they went back together. So you have to deconstruct it. So you find the pieces and you make it simple. So tuning was number 1. Finding a teacher was number 1. Tuning it. Number 2, finding the strings, knowing what the strings were, then finding the chords, finding the order to play them in, finding different songs. So I had a lot of fun with that. And then within 20 hours, I was playing the ukulele, so that was amazing, and it only took me about a month to do it. Now, granted, the first couple of weeks was horrible. I was practicing in the closet. It sounded really bad, but after that, now I can play at the nursing home for my mom's friends, so it's awesome. The other thing is you want to remove your practice barriers, And we call that the frustration barrier. Again, here in the beginning, it's going to sound terrible. Just understand that. The first couple of times you try something, oh my gosh, you just got to get through that. And nobody wants to feel stupid, and that's what shuts everybody down. So you have to focus on your why. Why do you want to do this? Well, my why for the guitar was because I've always wanted to do it. I think it's beautiful. I think it's a great artistic outlet. And I wanted to write songs. So that was kind of my input. So as I'm practicing and it's sounding bad and I'm getting really frustrated, I keep thinking it's because I want to have that musical outlet, and that'll feel really good to me. So stay focused on your why. If you want to lose weight, why is that? Not just because you want to lose 20 pounds, but because you look good in a bikini, or because it'll feel good to be able to go to the park and play with your kids and not get out of breath, or to not think about dying before you're too old. So remember your why. That's really important. And then commit to those 20 hours and just get it in. And the last thing is just do it. So after I got the ukulele, I thought I can do this. And then my husband got me a guitar. And the guitar sat around for a while because I had that frustration barrier. I thought, oh my gosh, it's going to be really bad in the beginning. And it was. But the thing is, when I went to the guitar from the ukulele, that learning curve was much, much shorter. So it looked more like this, which was really cool. Because by 4 or 5 hours, I was there, and it clicked like riding a bicycle. And it's just the coolest thing ever. So whatever it is you want to learn, you can do it. So what I did was, and then I started printing music off the internet. So this is a little bit of Eric Clapton, and it's got 4 chords. G, D, C, and E, M. So I'm just going to show you a little bit. Now, I'm not a singer or anything, but I just want to kind of show you. It's late in the evening, wondering what clothes to wear. Puts on her makeup, brushes her long blonde hair. And she asks me, do I look away? I say yes, you look wonderful tonight. So anyway, I'm like not very comfortable here, and like normally I'm like in my room and on my bed comfortable and got everything all spread out. So that probably sounded not very good to you, but so I've been doing this, for a little while, and it's just going to get better and better and better. So you just deconstruct it, and you can make it anything really hard, really simple. And playing the guitar for me now and writing some music is very therapeutic, and it helps me because I'm born to create, and I want to create something. And if you're not growing, you're dying. And I'll get depressed if I get overthinking, and it's just fun. So please consider learning something new, and just whatever that is that you've kind of always thought, because everybody's got something they thought that they might always want to learn. So whatever those barriers are, if it's like a guitar's expensive, you can get a ukulele for $30. It's like whatever those excuses are, remember, if you want something, you'll find a way. If you don't, you'll find an excuse. So I hope this is powerful for you. I want you to learn something new. And learning new things can actually help your situation. If your financial situation is not good right now, learning something new could actually help you make money, or it could help you move forward in your kind of depressed or stuck state. So learning something is the only way out of that. So I hope this is powerful. I hope this is Fun Friday for you. Please share this video if you've stayed here, especially to the end. Please just click that little share button. I'm going to go put this on YouTube as well, so please subscribe on my YouTube channel, and every time I make a new video, it'll give you a feed and let you know that it's up. I love you all very much, and I just want you to have a blessed, wonderful, creative, fun life, and just share it with others. So anyway, have a blessed weekend. See you soon. Bye-bye.